Welcome to the What's a Verdict podcast, where we fashion ourselves cinematic judge and jury. My name is JJ Crowder. I'm here with my co-host, Alec Burgess.
Let's get it.
We appreciate you tuning in. Go ahead and hit that follow, subscribe, like, bell notification buttons. Hit all them buttons. Help keep you up with the podcast, new episodes, things like that. It also helps support the podcast, which you can also do by telling a friend about us, a family member about us, a couple that just met, or
a one-night stand about us. Give them a text, let them know you're thinking about them, and tell them about the podcast.
Or if you've ever had a two-night stand, that would work too. Or listen, some frozen in New Yorkers when we get to wintertime again, that would work as well. But before we dive into the movie and what we're doing on week 3 of August and the round 2 of Hidden Gems, go check out Dubby. You can find them at dubby.gg. They do green coffee bean extract energy supplements in the form of powders. They're very good. They taste good. They work good. I highly recommend them. Plus, it's a lot cheaper than going out and buying a bunch of the equivalent of what you would get in your current in the market canned energy drinks. So you can save some money, save some time, and in my opinion, get a better buzz. I mean, energy buzz. So, yeah, go check it out. At w.gg, you can also get 10% off with code RVerdict at checkout, all one word. It does give us a little commission, which we appreciate. It does help keep the podcast going forward. But, yeah, we really appreciate it. So there it is, w.gg, RVerdict at checkout, 10% off. All the things. There's my pitch.
Love it.
Let's get into the movie. We are in week 3, as I said, and this week we are doing Two Night Stand. It was released September 26, 2014. It was written by Mark Hammer. It was directed by Max Nichols. It stars Miles Teller. Interesting. At the time, her name was Anna Lee Tipton. Now she goes by Leo Tipton. Jessica Soar, Kid Cudi. That was weird. Berto Colon, Josh Salatin. And I'm going to stop. Well, we'll say Levin Ramin because she was actually in it. And then I'm going to throw in Joey Lauren Adams and see if you can tell me where she was without looking it up. If you know Joey Lauren Adams, which I know you do. You don't know who Joey Lauren is? Oh,
I don't. And I got
Chasing Amy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you can tell me where she was in this movie, I'll give you a firm pat on the ass the next time I see you. But yeah, so this movie is about a snowstorm that forces two people who made an online connection to unwillingly extend their one-night stand as the blizzard goes through the night and into the next day, actually. That was a good little synopsis there. This is my movie. I guess it's my turn to kick this bitch off, huh? Listen, this movie was an accident, and what a fortuitous, beautiful accident it was. And I tried to get this on the last time we did the gems, because I think we did this on another 5-week month,
I believe,
previously.
We did, yeah.
So I actually had 3 picks to go, but we had 3 people vote on at this time, so I didn't get this one. But it worked out, I think, because this sounds like should be some great story time here. But this was a movie that I remember, like, we were sitting hanging out, and Casey was picking movies, and she's like, "We're gonna watch this movie," because we had recently, I remember the time frame because we had gotten into, speaking of Steve Carell, when we talked last week about Steve Carell, but now I can't think of the damn movie that he was in, but it's the one where he's the dad and the divorce. And
oh yeah.
We've done it on the podcast, I think.
I don't think we had. Is it the one with Ryan Gosling in it?
Yes. Why can't I think of the name of this movie?
Because it's a weird name. That's
Crazy, I know.
Stupid Love. No.
Yeah, it is Crazy Stupid Love.
Okay.
Which I think is hilarious movie. I love it. But Anna Lee Tipton, or Leo Tipton is in that movie as well. And so Casey, we watched that one. We had a great time watching it. It's a regular on the TV in our house. So she saw her, and we both like Miles Teller. So she says, well, let's just watch it. And I was like, this is going to be terrible. And then I laughed my ass off for an hour and a half. And I was like, this is so well written. Anyway, so it was an accidental movie that I was not looking forward to. but it has quickly turned into, I think, one of my, if not my, I could argue that this is my favorite rom-com of all time. And it was an accidental watch. And I think for me, the reason I love it, so I say all of that to say the reason that I love it is because of how well written and then how well portrayed the writing is on this, in this movie. I think it's so real that it makes everyone uncomfortable that it's ever watched it to a certain degree, because there is actual conversations that we should be having as human beings with each other that we don't. But most love stories and rom-coms are very unbelievable to me when it comes to the actual romance of it all, because anyone that's had a real long-term relationship knows that the actual things that help your relationship move forward are the awkward, weird conversations and discussions, not the cutesy bullshit that we see in most romantic films. And so I love this movie because it feels, while still a movie and still unrealistic, and there's so many things that you could argue about the love story, it feels way more real to me, having been in a 23-year relationship now, than any other bullshit that you're like, nope, that relationship's doomed in 6 months if it goes this way, right? So, and it's funny as fuck to me. Like, I laugh the whole movie. So I just enjoy it. I think it's cute. I think it's fun. I think it's super well acted and extremely well written. And for these two characters to carry a movie, an hour and a half, almost an entire hour and a half movie by themselves, I like that. That means to me it's well written and well played. So there it is. What did you think? Had you seen this before? I don't think you had, right?
I hadn't seen this before, and I messaged you because the more that I watched, the more I was like, oh my gosh, this is hitting closer and closer to home of stuff I've experienced. So if anybody knows me, turn it off right now. Don't watch this episode. We're gonna tell some stories.
I love it.
But like, it started when you first hear, Miles Teller's character's name. It's my name. I don't get a lot of movies that have my name in it unless it's the actor. And so I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. And then it just kept going, and there was more. I was like, okay, that's a little weird. that's a little weird as well. And so it's not a 1-to-1, but I've had a one night stand turn into a 2-night stand.
Nice.
And and so that's the big one. And then you're going through, but it does a really good job with all the, like you said, it's well written, but the corny, awkward, like start of a relationship thing where you fall back to the basics, right? Blanket fort. So old classic. Or the, figuring different things out about someone else while you're having those conversations. So I was like, I've had those conversations before too. What the fuck? And so there's just so much this that you said is relatable. And I love the way this opens up with her trying to sneak out and getting there, leaving the note. And it's like typical rom-com. And then open the door and just the alarm goes off. Oh, shit.
She crawls back in with
the bed. Just instead of like addressing situations, it never happened. And then like Miles Teller's just out until like it really starts blaring. Then he gets up, he's got a baseball bat.
Yeah, it's great.
I was like, motherfucker, I keep a baseball bat next to the bed.
Oh man.
And she's like, go get the intruder. Go get the intruder.
Yeah. So good.
And so that happens all in like the first 3 minutes of this movie, where you have this kind of going through. And so from there, it's just like, okay, I know what I'm getting into. And then it just gets better and better and better as you have these really relatable moments. And Miles Teller just,
oh my God,
was having so much fun in this movie.
Yeah.
Like the thing that got me when I texted you was when he's coming down the stairs to do laundry. And he's like, oh, yeah, hold on, Mom, or like, talk to you later, Mom. As he's describing his night. Like, again, done that, but not, I know his mom's not in the other line.
Sure.
You're not doing that, right? But you see an opportunity, you take an opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's when I texted you. I was like, this feels like a documentary of my life. Is what this is starting to feel like.
So good, dude.
Yeah. So we'll just get into it, I guess. So yeah, so I had a one night stand turn into two night stand, not because of snow or of weather,
Sure.
but because for the last, at this point, it's been 14 years. I've never paid for a flight because I fly standby.
Yeah.
And so if the flights aren't good, I'm not going to take a flight home. So that's how it turned into a two night stand, as the flights weren't good coming back to Arizona.
Fair
so
enough.
I was like, yeah, cool. So yeah, the one night stand turned into two night stand, not because of snow or ice, but because of air traffic control.
That's hilarious. I didn't know you'd never paid for a flight before.
So like, if I'm flying for work,
sure,
right, reimbursement or things like that, but because my mom worked for the airlines when I turned about 20 or so, I think is when she started working. And then my wife works for American Airlines now. So it's just, you don't know if you're going to get on the plane, right, on special occasions. But I don't pay for flights. Like,
sure.
If the flight's not there, I just don't go.
Yeah, that's fair. Hey.
Or I will bounce around airports to get to where I need to go.
That's
funny. So yeah, that's how it turned into a multiple night stand, is because it was like, well, I'm not going to get on a flight.
Yeah,
so.
I'm still here. So
yeah. So you want to go get breakfast or something?
That's funny. That's hilarious. I love that. That's perfect for this.
Yeah. And then we keep going, and the blanket fort, like I said, is a staple. And even though there's been no climbing out onto apartment buildings in the snow, because I don't do well in snow, there has been the whole climb a tree in the snow to get into a window because snow drifts pile up high enough that you can climb into first.
Yes, sir, they do.
I was going through watch this movie, and I was like, it's close, right? It's close enough that I could be like, hey, that kind of happened to me. But it's also just the relatability of the entire movie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think that there's not really much that I was like, I mean, the kind of the ending where we get the police involved and everything, that was a little bit where I was like, but at the same time, I can also see how that happens.
Sure.
Or how that's like, as soon as profiles deactivate everything, I was like, I know exactly where this is going. That's why they broke the window.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I think that to me is the only part where I'm like, okay. But at the same time, they get back on track so quick, right? Like, because you have to bring them back together, and the way it ends is hilarious. Like the fact that I love that her response of, as soon as I laugh, like he's like, fuck, I stepped in it on that, right? And then she turned it on him.
Yeah.
The instant I laugh, I'll call you. And she thinks she'll never fucking laugh about it. She doesn't even get out of the goddamn police station before she's chuckling about it. But that, and I think to me, the fact that we get to that point, yes, I could have done without the police. I think they could have done the same gag in a different way, and it would have made a little more sense, because I think the police thing, send her to jail, like that's a hard one to get over.
Yeah.
No matter how good your two night stand was and how interested you are. So I think you could have done a little differently there, but I also think that they made it work with what they did prior to that, right? Like the whole two night stand. And like I said, I go back to these conversations because what gets me is how they get past the awkwardness, because they have to. They're stuck in this apartment together. And there's this weird, what do we talk about time where they're watching the news and shit's all weird. And he's like, fuck it up. Yeah, he's got the Rubik's Cube and he's dicking around with it.
What do you think I do when I watch movies, JJ?
He doesn't know what to fucking say. So he's just, and then he's like, fuck it, I'm going to do the one thing that I know will relax everybody. And he gets high. And then these conversations kick off. And I'm like, this is amazing. And so, but the dialogue to me is so good. Like you get through, and again, if anyone that's been in a long-term relationship, and I'm not talking, listen, 23 years is a long fucking time. I'm talking a couple years. Like if you've been with someone consistently for more than a year, you've probably had similar conversations to these, right? You may not have had the let's give each other full-on critiques because we're not going to see each other again. That's brutal. But you've had, hopefully, I hope you've had these conversations of what works, what doesn't work, what do you like, what don't you like, what should I do, what shouldn't I do? Because if you haven't, you should, because if you should, then everything gets better. Like it just, and you see that in this movie, and it's played out so well. But like I love the getting to know each other conversations, because let's be honest, by the time they're into the let's get to know each other, they can't be awkward and uncomfortable about talking about your career and your, because you've talked about the most awkward shit on the planet. Why didn't you make me orgasm? Or what wasn't good about your sex? Or how did you think you were better than you actually were? Like it can't get any more uncomfortable than that, really, in most cases.
No, I think in every case.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say what would be worse, right? Like it's just like, if in the fact that you can get to that point, and that's what leads to one, your next session of having intimate relations, right? You're having sex and it works really well because you've had this conversation. And then from there, as again, someone that's been in a long-term relationship, like I remember those moments when you're like, ooh, this is trouble, because now communication's so good, relations are very good. Ooh, what do I do if this doesn't work out, right? Like, how do I rebuild this again? Because so the fact that it happens in 2 days, I love that whole juxtaposition of they shouldn't want to be together after this, but at the same time, that was really fun. There was a lot of really good things that happened in this 2-night stand, if you will, in that like really crunch timeline of shit that usually takes weeks to years. So I just love that whole situation. And there's a lot of quotes I want to get into later, but like, and then you have the awkward situations too, like clogging the toilet with the piece of paper because they hit too close to home and then having to break. It's just, there's so much good shit in this movie that you're like, what? But then when you look at the whole, it makes sense.
It also does a good job of like stripping away that initial relationship awkwardness that you get, because they do it in a natural way, right? Because if you're just starting out meeting someone, doing this hookup kind of thing, like it's very, you're stepping on eggshells a little bit. You're trying to figure it out. You're not really your true self. You're on your best behavior type of a thing. Yeah. And so it takes time to like strip away that. And so that's why it's like months, go on dates, different scenery, different areas, so that you can see more and more of who this person really is. But the best way to strip it away is just like, hey, you guys are stuck in a hotel or stuck in an apartment for 2 days. Figure it out, right? No food, no way to get out and escape type of a thing. Like, so that whole like initial phase is just stripped away to, okay, we're going to skip that and we're going to go straight into, we're going to skip the what's your favorite color phase, and we're going to go straight into the actual communication going back and forth to where let's figure this out type of a thing. And so they do it in what I think is a pretty natural way of just like, hey, guess what? You got no choice.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you either sit in silence for 2 days or you actually figure this shit out.
Right.
And I love too that like when you look at the two failed relationships that they're both previously in or currently in Alex's situation, they probably could have been saved if they had conversations similar to the one that these two had with each other, right? Like,
right.
You think about the relationship when she's describing her boyfriend cheating on her, and the fact that he didn't ever tell her, like, you're too clingy. You're all over the place. Like your relationship, your life is based on our relationship. And that's too much pressure for me. Like, I need you to figure out who you are and what you want to be. Like, that's a big conversation that needs to happen in a relationship. And so like those definition of roles and like why are we in this and why are we doing what we do? And how does that relate to our relationship together? Right. If they had those conversations, maybe that relationship ends differently. Same thing with Alec and Daisy. He finds this note, fucking ask her about it, dude. Like, why do we not talk about it? Instead, you come up with this really shitty scheme of, I'm going to hold on to this. And then as soon as she's gone, I'm going to have a one-night stand and use that to end this relationship. Just fucking have a conversation. And that's the other piece that I love about this movie is that like, it really belabors, if you will, for the lack of a better term, the fact that a lot of relationships end up in the toilet because of a lack of good, solid, honest communication. And I love the way that they broach this topic when they're having it's the funniest way to do it, right? Because you're talking about sex and it's all uncomfortable and you got to tell what you like and you don't like. But there's nothing in that conversation. And Casey and I had a very long, after we watched this movie, I was like, I have to ask, the shit that she critiques him on, is that shit for real? Like, because she and I have had those conversations, nothing about those things, but like, she goes, yeah, in that situation, 100% real. And I was like, yeah, the shit he said's true too. Like, and I was like, that's how I knew it was good writing, because I was like, I could relate to what he was saying. And then she could relate to what she was saying. And I was curious, is that shit real? And she was like, is that fucking real? And I was like, that's good writing. But that's the kind of conversations that we as human beings need to be having, is the uncomfortable, and not just in relationships in general, right? The uncomfortable ones lead to better understanding of each other, which lead to better relationships, whether it's friendships, relationships, I don't give a shit. That's what leads to stronger human interaction. And we avoid it like the plague, unfortunately, in most human cases,
because nobody likes to be uncomfortable.
Yeah,
like that's what it is. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and that's the tricky part. And it's so funny you talk about like the relationship portion of this, because I was cackling again, because little spoiler, when I met my now wife, she was in a relationship. I was the booty call. And so while this is all happening down, I was just cracking up because it was very similar. Like there was stuff happening in her relationship that maybe could have been worked out if there was open and honest communication back and forth. Personally, I'm very glad there wasn't, because it allowed me to come on in. And then that's something that, even though it's like, it's hard because we communicate very differently, I'm more of a, like, just tell me what you want, how it is, boom. Like, and so but it's even comes down to like when we have disagreements, right? Because we're both very stubborn people. I don't know if you know this, JJ. I'm extremely stubborn.
No.
Yeah. All right.
You.
And so it's one of those things where, like, on occasion, right, you got to vent, you got to have a little bit of a fight. But my way of fighting is like, hey, we're going to duke it out for 10 minutes and then we're cool again.
Yep.
Like that's exactly what it is. Her way of fighting is, if it doesn't get resolved in a way that's almost appeals to her, like it's still happening.
Yeah.
And so she'll be continuing a fight 2 hours in. And at that point, I'm like, we already fought about it. Like it's done. Like, and so you'll get the conversation, especially early in our relationship, where it's like, maybe we should break up. Maybe we should do this. Maybe, it's like,
sure.
Time out. Like, this is a fight, right? It's
yeah.
It's not the end of the world. We're having a fight. Once we're done with the fight, let's go get tacos, right? Like this, like this isn't a big relationship ending fight. First of all, I was like, we're gonna work through this, but so that was one uncomfortable conversation, was the fact that it's like, hey, the way I fight is I'm gonna get mad, I'm gonna yell, I'm gonna holler, and you cannot match me for volume. Like, it's not going to work. If you want to play that game, we'll play that game, and I will beat your ass every single time. But after 10 minutes, I'm done.
Yeah.
And it is out of sight, out of mind. It doesn't matter what happened. It's completely forgiven. Type of thing. I'm not going to bring it up on you. It's we fought about it, mostly just to say a piece of like, hey, this happened. Didn't like it. But now, what do you fucking want from, Taco Bell?
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things. And so it's still something I kind of struggle with a little bit, is making sure that at the end of my 10 minutes, I've gotten the resolution that she needs. Otherwise, she's going to keep bringing it up. And I fucking hate it, because I've already moved on.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
I'm done. I'm good. Yep. We had our fight. We had our disagreement, but let's continue with our relationship. Like, this isn't where it ends. But if she doesn't get that resolution, then it's like, that's her line in the sand.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, no, we're having a fight. There has to be an ending to the fight. And I'm like, yeah, well, the timer expired. like that's the ending of the fight. Like,
yeah.
And so it's good to see that kind of like just back and forth bearing your, innermost thoughts in a way being portrayed on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's something that does need to happen, but nobody wants to do it because of the fact that it is an uncomfortable thing to do.
Yeah. It's funny how it works out in this too, because like you have to set up the situation to where they're accidentally in a safe space, right? Like because in their minds, once the snowstorm, they were never supposed to be in the situation that they're in, but the snowstorm forced it. Once the snowstorm's up, it's done. He even says it. We're never going to see each other again. Let's have it out. Let's have these conversations. You tell me, give me critiques. This is a great science experiment. And I love where that goes. But like, if, for example, Casey and I, when we first met, we were friends long before we even thought about anything beyond friendship. So we would have conversations about other people that we were dating and things like that. So these conversations around like what we liked and what was important, not just sexually, but like in general, were happening as friends about other people that we could then call back. So it works out in a lot of times that in good situations where you're in a place where you can have a conversation because it feels safer than if you weren't, or if you were rather in a full-on relationship. But at the same time, like, again, I encourage people, like, have them no matter, because trust me, fighting about it later will become much more uncomfortable than if you were just feeling a little awkward having a weird conversation. Now it's just, it can only help your relationship grow as long as you're not like secretly a serial person. You know what I mean? Like
that would put a damper on the relationship.
My shit might get weird, but if it's because you like weird kinky shit, they'll figure it out.
Yeah. And it's more important to have that conversation out rather than keep it all locked up deep inside where it's going to have a problem later.
Yeah. And eventually it will become a relationship breaker as opposed to being a little uncomfortable in the moment. Right. But I love the realistic nature of this movie, no matter how unrealistic it is, because it is. I mean, let's be honest. Like, this is like a 1 in a billion kind of situation that could happen, but it probably won't. Right. But at the same time, like the conversations and the feelings and the place that they're in are so realistic that it makes this movie very funny and very fun to watch, at least for me. Like, I just enjoy the shit out of this awkward. And you're right, Miles Teller owns this fucking movie. Like, and don't get me wrong, Tipton, she does great. She's very good at being awkward. Which is why she was a great choice for this movie. She's not a great actress in a lot of the other things that she does, but when it comes to being uncomfortable and awkward, she's very good. So she was a very good choice. And she's a beautiful woman, and which also makes it great because, to be honest, like, this isn't ripped Miles Teller. Like, this is early acting Miles Teller when he's still got a little bit of I'm just 22, 23 pudge. And like, you're like, wait a minute. She was in America's Next Top Model and he looks like he had a little too many noodles for a while, right?
Yeah.
And, which I love because it's okay. That's also realistic in a lot of ways. And so these two did very good at that dynamic of awkward, and the way that they jab at each other, like, couldn't just shit in the sink, huh? It's just, or like the whole run it, like you said, the beginning of it, running back, laying down, and then he actually like believes that she was in her coat. Like, I just got cold.
Oh, okay.
Men are stupid as fuck in that situation, in most situations, but especially there. So he's just like, whatever, and then lays down and instantly goes back to sleep. I was like, God, that's too real. Like, that's so fucking great. And then
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just to say, it's so realistic. I love it.
I was gonna say the one that got me was the fitted sheet.
Oh, fuck.
Where they're going back for like their, after critiques, and it's like, no sheet on the bed. It's kind of giving crack house vibes. Yes. And just it's laundry day. Then you have this putting the fitted sheet on, and Miles Teller goes, it's inside out, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
Like, because it's great because that is not what you'd expect or what you'd ever see in any kind of rom-com is that line.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the kind of stupid shit people say when you've been together for a long time.
Oh yeah.
It's inside out. Like, does it fucking matter?
Yeah. There's a sheet on the bed. Quit bitching.
But the fact that you throw that in is just something else that makes it so relatable. Like, oh yeah, no, that's happened before. I've had that conversation where it's like the sheet's on the fucking bed. Okay, now take your clothes off.
100%. 100%.
I don't even want to have sex anymore because you're bitching about the sheet.
Because you can see the fucking the stitch part on the corner. Fuck off. Like, get out of here with that. No, I'm with you. And I love too, like the look on his face when she takes his feedback and gets undressed all slow and shit. Like, that to me is like one of the hottest things in this whole movie. And it's not just because of her. Like, it's just the way she did it. I was like, see, this is what he's talking about. It's real. Don't rush that shit. We can if you want us to, but you need to take your time.
Yeah.
Like, because that gets you going. Like, at least for guys. And again, that's a very broad generalization, but I was like, every time I watch this movie, I laugh at that because I'm like, he's not wrong. And then his face, he just plays that like, fuck. And it's so good. And then I think one of the greatest lines in all of cinema history is when he's going down on her and he's like, Japanese alphabet. Thank God for fucking
Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone in the middle of it, because that shit's real. And I'm sorry if you're not laughing during sex, sometimes you're doing it wrong, right? Like, this shit's weird. There's gonna be moments when you're gonna have, because everybody's all about, in movies and Hollywood and books and shit. I'm getting all passionate because this movie brings this shit out of me, because I think people are so ridiculous sometimes in general. It's all about the passionate, hot fucking, that's once every fucking 50 times at best, right? Most of the time you're like, you wanna? Yeah. And then it's like weird. Like, if you really think about it outside in, it's weird. It's awkward. It's stuff everywhere. Like, it's just not, it's kind of gross. It's kind of weird. It's kind of awkward, but it feels real good. And it's really intimate and it brings you closer, no matter how you can say that, regardless of the situation. So when you watch a movie like this and there's like this funny shit in the middle of it, like that, fuck, I'm like, that's real. That, because I've never said that. I'm not that smart and clever, but I've said funny shit and we start laughing. And that to me is some of the best sex I've ever had, is when I'm laughing and giggling in the middle of it, because it's real. You can't have this passionate fucking break the goddamn bed sex every time you have sex. It's unrealistic. It's not how that shit works. And anybody that's been in a long-term relationship, again, I keep saying that, but you know that because you've had the awkward, weird giggle fest in the middle of sex. And then at the same time you get done, you're like, that was actually pretty good.
No, there's been the funny part too, for me anyway, is the ones that stay long term.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she gives me shit all the time, but there was one time where I sneezed.
Oh God.
Just like right in.
Amazing.
She's eyes.
Oh, it's awesome.
And so she'll bring that up every, so often.
Yeah.
And she waits until like moments where it's gonna be like really right now type of a thing. But there's been a couple, because at one point we had like slick sheets. Right off the bed.
Oh yeah. 100%. Whoever said satin's the right choice was a fucking moron.
Fucking idiot.
So impractical.
But it's like, it's those real kind of mistakes in a way.
Yeah.
The kind of the clunky, awkward stuff that just like, okay, yeah, no, you're actually two people having a moment here, rather than just the Hollywoodized version of sex.
Yeah. No, you have to have. So everybody's got them. Like fucking, dude, I could be in the middle of the frozen ass tundra and I'm gonna sweat. Okay.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's fucking awkward. You sneeze, I drip. So like, there's towels, dude. Like, there has to be. Or one time, Skitty, she doesn't listen to this podcast. She fucking murdered me. But like, there was one time is a joke, right? Like, and I didn't know, but again, in the perfect moment, Rosetta Stone fucking type moment, right? Fucking goddamn full on rainbow headband, puts it on my head. I fucking lost it because I knew it was to keep from dripping, right? Because that's where it always comes, is right in the middle of my fucking forehead. It runs off the top of my damn head and just right down. So full on your headband, just middle. Boom. Fucking fell off laughing my ass off. And it was one of the best nights ever. You know what I mean? Just because you have to have those moments. Anyway, probably way too much information, but that's why this movie just, I love this movie. And I tell people about it all the time. If you want to laugh, watch Two Night Stand and just give it a chance, because it'll take a second to warm up. But when you get into the heat of the whole thing in the middle of the movie, it's great. And then the one-liners throughout it are fucking like, oh, look, it's a million little matchmakers. Thank you, Snow. Or you taste like prison. It's just, and I love that because that's the kind of goofy shit that like Casey and I say to each other. And I'm sure that you and Oshi have these little like shouldn't be funny, and anybody listening would be like, what did you just say? But it works for you, right? And that's the part that to me is so cool about this, is like every relationship has those things, but we shy away from the awkward and the weird so much. And I just think that's unhealthy. Like, we need to embrace that, have difficult conversations with each other that really aren't difficult once you start having them. And you do it if you frame it in the right way. Yeah, it's just great. So I love this movie.
Well, it's also kind of coming to the realization that it's you and someone else versus the world.
Yeah.
Right. Type of a thing, instead of going at each other based on what the world thinks. Because like Oshi and I, we work together, and you could never tell because we are at each other's throats. Like, what the fuck you say?
100%.
Like back and forth. And so you can tell people who necessarily haven't been in these long-term relationships, because they're like, your wife is mean to you. And I'm like, yeah, she better watch it or else I'm going to leave her.
Yeah.
Right? Or, type of a thing. And so, or you go back and forth, like people, sometimes they don't know that we're actually together.
Yeah.
And so they'll be like, oh, she's kind of mean to you. So I don't know, no worse than my wife. Right. And so, yeah, you have this back and forth where people who are kind of clued into the joke understand, and but they, even still, they're like, you guys are mean to each other. Well, not my fault, right? Like she started it, or type of a thing. And so you have that where it's like being comfortable with someone else to be able to realize that it's you and me kind of versus the world. And so she adapted to me, because I'm that very sarcastic, going out like, what the fuck you talking about? Stupid. Like, you told me to do this. Why the fuck you telling me to do this now? Or type of a thing. And so it took her a little bit of time, but to her credit, she like adjusted and adapted to that, so that now it's just off the cuff. Yeah. Right. And so it's going back and forth, and people are like, are you guys like happily married? No, we're not. Like,
yeah.
but it's like, yes, we are. The no's a sarcastic bit, but or it's the every damn day. I do you love me? No, or like why do you always do that when I tell you to do this? Well, because I hate your guts, type of a thing. So it's that back and forth of having this really unique way of interacting around the world. And so this is cool because it's thrown in there enough to where the one-liners, you taste like prison, your place or mine. Well, I don't got a place. Do I? Well, you're a keeper, right? Like, so good. Like these little moments that are happening, I was just cackling because I was like, that's how I communicate. And it takes a certain sort, right? And you can't really communicate like that unless you have this really unique circumstance where you can speed through it, because you have to get there over the course of time. Otherwise, you're going to have people are like, absolutely not, block you, like we're never seeing each other and the disrespect or whatever. And so it took a long time, but it's funny because Ocean and I communicate like they do in this movie. on several occasions.
Yeah.
Where it's just the getting after each other, going after this, like, just every opportunity we have to poke, and we're taking it.
Oh yeah. No, Casey and I are the same way. Like, we always joke, like, people think we hate each other.
Yeah.
Like, no doubt about it. Like, because we're nasty to each other, you know what I mean? But we've had these conversations of, no, this is when I'm joking and this is when I'm not, right? And so you can have those. I'm with you. I love that it portrays a very speedy version of reality, right? And they don't shy away from the awkward and uncomfortable, because so much about relationships are awkward and uncomfortable. And people don't want to admit that. Like, we have this vision of the Hollywood romance that it's all perfect and sunshine and roses, and it's fucking not. Or that you have one big fucking dramatic situation and then it's all over and done with. And from there, you guys are, that's not fucking, this shit happens all the time. Like, there's constantly weird shit happening in a relationship that you have to figure out together. And if you're not willing to talk about it, it's just going to create problems. And so I love the way it's portrayed in this film.
Yeah, it's gotten worse with the rise of the influencer.
Oh, for sure.
As well. Like, I don't know if you ever scrolling and you get the, cute little couple, like, that's fucking fake. But then you, like, I'll pop open the comments a little bit, and you have so many people who are like, I wish my relationship was exactly like yours, blah, 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 blah. This is what I need, and type of a thing. And it's like, you're going to be unhappy for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Because it's curated. It's curated same way that Hollywood curates to what they're trying to tell, this story or whatever. And it's like, you're going to have a bad time if you're trying to replicate what you're seeing online.
Yep.
Because like you said, that's 1 in every 50 intimate encounters going to be like that. Maybe.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's unrealistic to think that way, or to take, you can take inspiration, but to try and mimic and copy what you're seeing as a curated thing.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine just straight going 50 Shades of Grey?
Oh, fuck.
If I don't have that, it's not like that's my line in the sand type of a thing.
Yeah. It's too much. It's too much. So many times when we watch movies and it's like people have this, like, they're like looking at each other, and then it's like the next thing you know, they're cut to their apartment and they're like throwing shit everywhere, and all they're doing is having this like crazy passionate sex. I'm like, that's not.
You throw my R2-D2, it's done.
No shit. I'm just sitting there. That's not real. And it's funny because you
pick that up.
You say that, and like, I don't, from my front door to the bedroom, which is where they always end up, right? Fine. But from my front door to that bedroom, there's a flight of stairs, 3 dogs, a narrow hallway, a bunch of furniture. We're going to fucking bump into something if you're doing that shit. And if we break a lamp, something like that, we're not, it changes the amount of perfection that it takes to get from the front door to your bed and still be in that mood. It's unrealistic. I hate Hollywood for that fucking reason. So many relationships I think are fucking screwed because of, in part, and a small part, but in part due to these unrealistic expectations that are set because of literature, Hollywood, and the things that we see, because those are the things that we want. So that's what we gravitate to. And I'm not saying they're a bad thing. They're just, you got to be realistic about the real expectations of that's most likely not going to happen that way. And if it did, awesome. You have a great story. It'll probably never happen again.
Yeah.
Your odds just went even further bad for it happening. So anyway, it's just, so I love movies like this where, like, you think, oh, we had this great one night stand. And anybody that's had a one night stand, it's even more rare for it to be great. It's functional, right? Because one night stands are to have sex. That's it. So I'm not worried about, did she get off, right?
Yeah.
I'm worried about, exactly. That's a perfect scratching an itch.
That's all it is.
So for the fact that these two were stuck together and then they were able to say, no, it was fine. It scratched the itch. And then it starts to mess with your ego a little bit. Well, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
I can't just have it scratch the itch.
Like, what do you mean it was just fine?
I need it to be the itch next time, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the, so anyway, I love this movie for so many reasons. Should we rate it?
Let's do it.
Okay, because I could talk about it all night long. So we need to. Okay, I'm gonna rate this. I'm giving this a 4. I do think it's really phenomenal. I think the writing is outrageously good. And there's been a few times Casey and I've had conversations about it. Like, do we think it could have been better maybe with a different actress or a different actor or a different pair? And I there are parts that I've made arguments where I'm like, sure, it could. But I think this is great with these two. And I think it's because they're both very good. She's amazing at awkward, and he's amazing at making things awkward. And so it really works with the whole vision of the story. There's a lot of great one-liners. There's a lot of entertainment value, and there's a lot of realism that's played in a subtle way that doesn't make you so uncomfortable that you want to stop watching the movie, but it does let you in on the fact that relationships aren't always, or very rarely actually, sunshine and roses and easy and comfortable. They're often very uncomfortable and can be very dark and very sinister feeling. And then you have to work through those things. And then you go, okay, that made it better because we went through that, right? And we actually fought to get through it. So seeing some semblance of that in a movie is great. And it still has the happy ending and the wonderful blah, 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 blah. So it still fits the mold of Hollywood, but there's enough things in there that you're like, that shit's too real, which is probably why this movie was never a big, massive success. But I recommend it to people all the time. So I'm going to give it a 4. I do think it could have been better at the end. It got a little rushed at the end, which I understand why. It's still a very short movie, which I also love. But it did feel a little, we jump from here to all the way to the end, and you're like, whoa, that went fast, right? So I think they could have done a little better to get the buildup there of him trying to find her or whatever it might be. Give us like a day worth of figuring it out, maybe, but maybe not. I don't know. That's just where I feel like it could have done a little bit better. But overall, great gem of a movie for me, one that I recommend highly all the time. If you haven't watched it, go fucking watch this movie. You'll laugh at the very least. So, Alec, what about you, buddy?
I'm also going to give it a 4. I think for me, a lot of similar things to what you said, but where it really kind of fell flat, and I don't know if this was intended or just what kind of happened, but where you have the party sequence and she's like talking to other people and she's just like depicted as drunk or out of it. So she's like just lost the edge.
Yeah.
And like the idea, I think, is supposed to be like, oh, it was such a letdown. This is what life is actually like and going back to. I think you could have done a lot better because that whole like party sequence, I was sitting there going, it's like, oh, this movie was so great. Like for the first at this point, like hour and 15 minutes. And now it's like, really, do you have to go there? Because there's just so much. Like I would have liked to see more of the her switching to like the ambition stuff, right? Because she talked about losing her ambition. So you have something like, I would even fast forward longer than a day, maybe a week or 2 or even a month. Yeah. She's at a job interview or something or another, and they bump into each other type of a thing.
Yeah. And
so then you have this, oh, hey, type of moment where you could cut out the parts that really just felt odd. Because that's where it really went a little south for me. But yeah, I cackled. And I was reliving some past experiences from my life, watching this going, oh, motherfucker. You know, who wrote this?
Yeah, right?
I go to school with you. And so there was a lot of that, but it was just really enjoyable. So yeah, 4 for me. I will watch this again. I'll be watching it with Oshi at some point because I was like, she's going to like this movie.
Yeah. It's good. We didn't even talk about one of my other favorite sequences that I 100% am like, that's me. When he talks about ambition and he's like, oh, I kind of blacked out there for a minute. Yeah. Fucking, because you get a desk and there's another desk. And I'm like, dude, that is like
big my house, opinion. No ping pong table.
Amazing. That moment is there's so many little moments like that where they go off on one thing or another that I'm like, that's so relatable. But anyway, I'm with you. I like that. It's a good explanation. The party sequence. How funny would it have been if she's in the middle of a job interview and gets arrested?
Yeah.
That would have been even funnier. Anyway, yeah, there it is. Good ratings. I like it. Go check it out. It's a funny movie. And Alec, tell everybody where you can find us when we're not searching for that perfect 2-night stand.
Yeah, absolutely. This episode really devolved into swapping sex stories. Great.
It did. I kind of figured it might, but yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So YouTube is the best place to find us, where you can see our smiling faces while we discuss all of the things. All the things. We'll put it that way. Aside from YouTube, Patreon at What's Our Verdict Reviews is the best place to get involved in the podcast content creation. We have votes every month for movies and topics, which is absolutely free. So just join Patreon, free to vote. You guys get to say in what movies we put out on the podcast. So Patreon, What's Our Verdict Reviews. Behind a little itty bitty paywall on Patreon is access to more than 700 bonus content videos. Everything from bloopers and outtakes all the way up to full-length episodes of movies nobody should watch, but we did for you. So you can join there and see a whole lot of extra content. Special thanks to our current patrons, Rich and CB. You guys are awesome. Much thanks for supporting the podcast. And don't forget, if you want your green coffee bean, extract.
You did it.
From w.gg, 10% off your order with code RVerdict. And with that, let's kick it back to the Titan of Terror, the Colossus of Clout, a JJ.
That's right. Thank you, Alec. This was a fun episode.
It was.
It was a fun 2 episode. Last 2 have been really fun. So it's good stuff. And with that, as always, we appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Cinemagic out.
Whoa!